Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. We are back with another pick a card love reading. So in this week's reading, once again we have 3 different piles that you can choose from. I will show you the close-up of each of the crystals if you wanted to take a look, if you wanted to take a moment to kind of figure out which one you're drawn to, and then we can kind of get started with the video. A little disclaimer as per usual: if you are brand new here, this is a general reading designed for all signs. Take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, then likely this one is not for you, and that's totally cool because maybe the next one will resonate. So if it resonates, then obviously the message was meant for you. And this is designed for all signs. So let's dive right in. Of course, welcome. If you are brand new here, I'm so glad that you are here, first of all. My name is Meshi, and I do general readings here on this channel. We also talk about law of attraction. We talk about minimalist planning and yoga, and how we can bring all of these spiritual practices together so that it can enhance our lives and so we can live our best lives. So if that sounds good to you, then maybe consider sticking around. All right, first up, so group number 1, here is your crystal. Let's zoom you in. There you are. Group number 2, here is your crystal. And group number 3. Perfect. If you have taken a moment to take a look at each of the groups. So if you have taken a moment to take a look at each of the groups and you have kind of chosen one, if you have made your selection, then let's get started. As usual, you guys, just quick disclaimer, the timestamp is going to be in the description. All right, here we are. So group number 1, if you have chosen this crystal, then this reading is going to be for you. So more specifically, when I was pulling the cards and I was kind of contemplating and meditating on your reading today, the number 1 thing that I was really asking is how you can tap into a more authentic version of love. So this week is very much about how you can, so if you've seen yesterday's reading, yesterday we were talking about what is actually blocking you. Today I really wanted to actually focus on how you can have an authentic relationship. What is it that needs to shift, or like what's happening, what needs to adjust, or what is in alignment already. All right, so here's your crystal, and right off the gate, here is your affirmation card. This is all about power. I am strong. So here's your ultimate affirmation. I am strong, I am grounded, and I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank because that is used for like war. And I am more like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but to be. So a couple of things that stand out here beyond the fact that reminding you to perhaps stand in your own power, stand in your own conviction, is to tap into peace, because I feel like through this, it very much feels like some of you are more pushing rather than flowing within your relationships. Like you want it so bad that it's actually not happening. So just remembering sometimes that you are actually a powerful being, you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for, can actually help you sometimes in just remembering to stand in your power. And what are you waiting for? Get that shit done. What are you waiting for? I feel like some of you are sort of waiting for that sign. It's almost like there is a sense of like you're insecure about how you are showing up with your partner if you are in a relationship, or it could also be that it's like you're waiting for a sign. Like that's what I'm getting. It's just, you know, like you're waiting for like the things to align perfectly. Like perhaps you want to take your relationship to the next level, and then you're just waiting for all of these things to align perfectly so that the timing is right. But honestly, just knowing that like taking one small messy step in the right direction is going to be a whole lot better than for you to sit and wait for the right time. There is no right time. Right now is the right time. Like literally you can pause the video and you can message him right now. Okay. And then after that, come back to hear the rest of the reading. Yep. Isn't that funny how they're all aligning right now? Loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. I think that some of you are just definitely feeling the need to it's almost like you're energetically ready to be in a relationship. Or you might be in a relationship already, but then you're just feeling like this deep loneliness. Like it's almost like you forget like all the support that you have around you. And yeah, so just knowing that you're not alone is going to be very helpful for you this week, I feel. But also dive deeper into why you might feel lonely. Why are you feeling that way, when really, if you are with someone, what is actually missing, and see how you can kind of circle back to that. So your emotions can absolutely be a guide of not only what's out of alignment, but also how you can kind of bring it back into balance. Just asking a few questions like, what is missing? How can I feel more connected to my partner? And if you're not in a relationship, then really ask yourself, like, what is actually missing? Like, what is it that I'm really longing for here? And coming from a place of power versus lack is going to be very helpful to you guys. Okay, now let's see what the tarot has to say. I love how everything is in reverse, except for the Five of Wands. Okay. It's like you want to kind of just race into this relationship. Like, I feel like some of you are just so longing. Like, you have like that sense of like determination. Like, I definitely feel determination here. Perhaps a little bit of stubbornness. Like, it's almost like you're looking at it like, oh my gosh, it's like a battlefield. Like, I need to kind of like get through all of these different obstacles. Like, oh, and really, like, the only thing that's actually standing in your way, or the way that you can actually stay more authentically in a relationship, is by not only connecting to your emotions, but with the moon being in reverse, I feel like this is all about shadow work for you. So I feel like for some of you, it's definitely like that insecurity that's coming up, which is why it's actually delaying getting into a relationship, if that's sort of where you're at. But then the other aspect of it is that you have like all of these insecurities that are coming up, and then you would much rather just shut down than to actually try. Listen, being vulnerable, it takes a lot of courage. So at some point, and knowing that you have that in you in order for you to show up authentically within this relationship, I think can be a little bit comforting, right? But I think that at some point you're going to have to decide which one is stronger, your sense of loneliness, or your sense of wanting to be with someone, or your sense of pride, right? Because a lot of the times, like, if we have a hard time being vulnerable, it has a lot more to do with the ego, and it has the ego that is trying to kind of protect you than anything else. And a lot of that has to do with more shadow work. Because listen, like, you could have this sense of celebration, and so it is definitely available to you. It always is, right? Like, the right partner is always available to us. It's just a matter of like, can we actually tap into this energetically so that we can draw this towards us? But we have to kind of look for the signs, right? Yeah, I definitely feel like with the Four of Wands, it's more about, it's a very, like, that's the funny thing, that it's a very positive card when, you know, like, you're with someone and you guys go to a picnic and like everything is great and everything is shiny. But then in reverse, it's more about like just kind of feeling like it's still a positive card, but you don't, yeah, like that's, okay, here we go. I landed on it. Good. I feel like if you are in a relationship right now, then you might be feeling lonely and powerless, and you're sort of waiting for that right time. And like, there's a sense of longing for, you know, spending more quality time. Like, I'm kind of getting like quality than quantity. So it's almost like you need to kind of make that time together more worthwhile or more meaningful, because I feel like this sense of yearning is definitely coming up for you guys. But I also see that in order for you to authentically show up in this relationship, you need to be determined, and you don't have to necessarily like jump through all of these obstacles. I think that this is more of an emotional thing for you more than anything. So I don't see like that there's like these huge obstacles that are standing in the way of like, you know, no, I need to like rehack his phone so that he becomes available. No, honestly, energetically, if you're creating plans and you guys spend time together in a more meaningful way, then that will even if it's for a short amount of time, I think it's going to actually be more meaningful, and you will get that sense of fulfillment than you just longing for something. And then, you know, like if somebody's there all the time, but then there isn't any substance, that's actually not better. Yeah. Fearless expression. So to me, this is all about like make your case. It's about really express the type of relationship that you want to build. And if it's with this person and they are game, then they will more than willing to like meet you halfway because they care about you as well. And if they're not, if this is not with this person, then this is your sign that perhaps it's time to, you know, pour your energy into what you actually want, but stop waiting around. Like, I feel like you're just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect opportunity for things to be like perfect. And there's no such thing. So this is what I got for you guys for group number 1. I hope that this has resonated and it helped. Use the timestamp below and hop on over to the end of the reading, because I will be pulling a couple of affirmation cards for manifestation of what can actually help you in like getting into alignment, into a more authentic relationship. So let's go. I believe this is group number 2. So group number 2, this green crystal was your crystal. And then this reading is for you. All right, you guys, now that we have recalibrated here for a moment, here's group number 2. Here is your reading. How can you be in the most authentic relationship, or how can you show up as the most authentic version of you within this relationship? So first and foremost, let's talk about this. We have beauty. It's beautiful even when I don't think it. Oh, I am beautiful. I am beautiful even when I don't think it. I am beautiful even when I don't see it. And I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I am beautiful and I don't care if you know it. I am beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard all the time to show it. So again, I kind of feel like for some of you, it's sort of like you need that like affirmation, you need that reminder that you are worthy, you are beautiful. You do you, boo-boo. You do you. Why do you need to do you? Why? And understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So perhaps for some of you, you might be going through this transition where you are feeling like you lost something, or you're about to lose someone or something. But there's definitely a sense of loss, because maybe you need to really focus on, maybe this is the time or the transitional time when you really need to place more focus on you, whether you're with someone or not. But it's almost like you need to like recalibrate so that you do a lot more self-care routines and things like that when you really pour more self-love back into your own cup. Because sometimes, especially if you're not with the right person, it can kind of feel like their energy can essentially take over your energy, which means that you're no longer authentically you. You're basically a version of yourself that can kind of fit the mold to fit your partner. And that's not really authentic. Let's see what the tarot has to say. And what's this grief about? Okay, so first we have the Hangman. It's almost like you're going through a transition right now, which like I think you absolutely are. Like it almost feels like things are sort of not necessarily backwards, but they just feel upside down, like your world turned upside down, or you need to look at things from a totally different perspective than how you're looking at it right now. So it's almost like maybe you need to kind of get out of victim mode. Definitely with the Queen of Wands, and like it's all about stepping into your power, right? Like I see it stepping into and shining brightly. But then we have the Two of Wands. That's sort of like, okay, when is this going to happen? Like it's sort of like that sense of waiting. Like you're kind of looking out there, like seeing, okay, when will things get easier? When will things get better? And I also see that like in order for you to show up authentically as you, I think that I feel like right now you definitely need your tribe. You need your support system. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your soul sisters. Yeah, lots of movement. Like look how many, like literally 1, 2, 3 different wands. Damn, girl, there's a lot of wands. Yeah, like I definitely feel like it's like, here you go. Here's the new idea for you. But this affects like this affects every aspect of your life right now. It's almost okay. I'm getting it. You're kind of going through this cycle right now, you know, where you're really starting to, like, in order for you, this is almost becoming like a prediction rather than like really relating to the energy this week. But maybe it is. Maybe it's a prediction for the month of September. But I definitely feel like you're really pouring a lot more into you, into your self-care, into how you feel, into all of the things that make you feel beautiful. Because perhaps for some of you, you might be like just coming out of a relationship, or you're going to be coming out of a toxic relationship, one or the other. So there is a sense of grief, there is that sense of loss. Like some of you might be like, oh my gosh, like you might be kind of looking at it like with a sense of doubt of, you know, was that supposed to happen? And yes, it was supposed to happen, but then also you need to kind of put more energy and effort into how you take care of yourself. So it's very much like this shift of, in order for you to show up as an authentic version of yourself in a new relationship or in any relationship really, you always need to kind of take care of you first, because then once your cup is full, then obviously you show up as a different partner. So that part is obvious. For some of you, you might be feeling like things are sort of turned upside down, but to me, this is also just an invitation to start looking at your circumstances, not from a place of victimhood, but from a place of an opportunity. And when you return that power back to you, go through the cycle of feeling, you know, go through and feel that sense of loss, like what the hell just happened, right? But then at the same time, like at some point, once that cycle is done, come back to you, bring that power back to yourself. And really, I feel like for some of you, you're going to be also looking at new possibilities with someone new. And there is a sense of celebration. There is a sense of that community, that like you have the support of people around you. I feel like when you kind of finish the cycle and perhaps you start like meeting new people, or through meeting new people, you find someone that you actually wanted to be with. That could be it. Definitely a mass download that's coming where it's like this spark. Like I definitely feel like there is that spark that you were really missing. Perhaps you were missing that with your ex, that it's really going to be here with this new person. Or option number 2 is that you really rekindle that with the person that you're with. So sacred mirrors. So this is all about like really looking at all of the things that are happening around you and with you, and look at it like energetically, where are we at? And then what is that reflecting back to me, right? Because that's very important. Sometimes you kind of miss the signs because we're so focused on me, that it's sort of like, actually take a look at where you are energetically, and the way that people treat you, the way, like all of these things that are happening, they are a mere reflection of where you are energetically. So when things feel like they flow, they just come effortlessly, that's your sign. So that's all I got for you guys for group number 2. I hope that this has resonated. Hop on over to the very end of this reading, because I'm going to be giving you guys some manifestation tools. Like we'll pull a couple of cards for the collective that you can use this week. So let's go. Okay, friends, group number 3, here is your crystal and here is your reading. So if you have chosen group number 3, here we go. So first and foremost, gentleness. That almost sounded like gentleman. I speak with gentleness and I listen to gentleness. I align with the gentlest part of myself, and I take joy in being receptive, open, and unafraid. And I am like a baby deer who's best friend with a baby elephant. The baby elephant wraps its little trunk around my shoulders, and we lie down gently on the grass, daydreaming and talking about what sort of humans the clouds look like. Why do you need to be gentle with yourself? I mean, you do, but why? You got a feeling you just can't shake. Ooh, I think that for some of you, it's all about your intuition that's kicking in this week. Something is happening. Yeah. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path of challenges. So I feel like for some of you, you need to be a little bit gentler with yourself, because I feel like this judgment is definitely coming back to you. Like, I feel like you're spending more of your time judging yourself, and therefore, how can you show up authentically? If, like, to me, judgment, a lot of the times we judge things and others to keep us safe. So to me, this is very much an ego thing more than anything else. So see where this is coming up for you, okay? What are we judging? Why are we judging? Why do you feel the need to judge, right? Like, why do we feel the need to judge right now? I'm just asking. Just asking for a friend. Six of Pentacles. So we have Six of Pentacles, the Hierophant in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Tower. Oh God, okay. I feel like it's almost like you're invited to let go of the judgment. See if you can be a little bit softer around the edges, softer around the way that you approach people, the way that you approach, you know, connections with people. This to me is all about being generous, but being generous, can you be generous with your energy? Can you be gentler with your energy, right? Like, I wonder, so this is just like question of the day here. I wonder what would shift for you if you looked at the same thought that you have within your partnerships, but from a totally different angle, right? Like, to me, this is all about, you know, like with this person, when you're with this person, I feel like you just need to kind of soften around the edges, because that might be a little bit too rough. Like with the Hierophant, again, like, to me, this very much feels like it's like Judgment Day. Like, I'm going to decide, like, I'm going to be judge and jury and all of that in one. Like, the thing is that, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be happy? So my question is, do you want to be happy, or do you want to be right? Because emotionally, I feel like you definitely want to be with someone, like they are right there. But if you're so rough with people, or if you're so abrupt with people, that's not really going to get you, that's not really going to attract the type of person, or it's not going to attract the type of energy that you're really after, right? And then the other thing is that, like, you might find that if you continue down this path, that things will fall apart, or maybe you already feel like they are falling apart, you know? Like, can you shift out of that? Because if the number one thing that's coming up is to be gentle, then it's almost like, I feel like some of you were really running a tight ship. But I also feel like you've been doing this for so long that you don't know kind of how to shift out of it. You know, or perhaps like there's a sense of like trust issues. Like, I'm kind of getting, you know, like, what if they're not loyal to me? Well, if they're not, then that's your sign right there. Then that's like, why would you fight for a failing relationship? Do you know what I mean? Like, it either flows or it doesn't. Like, sometimes it's almost like it's that simple, but you being judge and jury is not going to help, and it may fall apart, but if it does, it's okay. Not because it's a great thing, but if it falls apart, then it's because it's meant to, right? Like, things that are not solid, they will fall apart. Like, or emotionally, you will feel like things are tumbling down because it's just simply, you can kind of hold all the pieces together. Oh, you are living poetry. You are basically, to me, this is all about you living in alignment. You living in a way that it actually aligns with your values, actually aligns with the better version of you than who's showing up right now. I definitely feel like some of you are just simply not in a good place where you have like this deep sense of connection and things are like flowing with your person. I more feel like, you know, some of you feel like you need to kind of control every aspect of the relationship, and that's not really, it's not really authentic. Or it's not really in a line, like people don't respond to that well for too long. Like, people need to feel empowered, right? But if you feel like the only way for you to kind of be with someone is by controlling them, then that's not really healthy either, right? I just feel that with like this, the Two of Cups, and like look how many times the like you have the Lion in reverse twice. So definitely like that sense of strength is coming through, but it's just, maybe it's just not in a way that it's actually helping you. So this is all I have for you. It's a relatively short reading this week. I hopefully this has resonated. Let me know in the comments if it did. I will be pulling you guys a card at the very end of this reading, so use the timestamp below, and it will be for the collective. So let's go. Okay, well, first of all, if you made it to the very end of this video, thank you so much. So now that we finished all 3 readings, let's pull a couple of cards collectively of what you can use. So when I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. And I chose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. So to me, both of these cards are all about shifting. So can you shift your vibe to something where it just feels more in alignment, right? And we kind of talked about this in each of the readings today. But then the other part of it is that didn't really come up, but it should have come up. And that's about how can you have faith? How can you surrender? Can you surrender your ego within your partnerships, within your life, no matter what type of partnerships we're really looking at? Can you change that vibration? Because then at that point you manifest something so much more meaningful. Can you have faith? Can you release the grip on trying to control everything? Because if you can, then you will be manifesting from such a different place. You're going to have just a completely different outcome than what you're seeing right now. And a lot of that has to do with your frequency. And how can you find things that really light you up? Can you bring joy in different areas of your life? So based on whatever's happening with each of you, I hope that this has resonated. If it did, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. We do a general reading for your love life every single week. So I think that you're going to enjoy that. And that's all I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.